Well, good evening, all, once again.
Good evening.
To another episode of the Baseball Card Junkies podcast. You got the three amigos here. Who we have in the chat? We've got Tom, we've got Ryan, Maddie is driving, playing soccer mom. We got Corey.
What's up, Corey?
How's everybody doing
Maddie.
This evening?
I'm here.
Can't complain.
I know you just got off for work because you're advertising for Aldi right now. And no, this is not a sponsored stream, folks.
No, it's not.
It can be.
Not.
For the right price. It can be.
No, it will not be a sponsored stream. I didn't even have the energy to get changed. I still got my steel-toed shoes on. So there we go. Now we're set.
And then I know I pulled Arnie away from his extracurricular activities, cleaning out his basement by selling everybody pretty much what he has. Who else just jumped in? We got Sean that just jumped in. We have Orlando.
Hello, Sean.
Orlando.
We got one of my little brothers in here. Yeah, so a lot of stuff has been going on in baseball and within the hobby as of recent. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to cover is Bowman draft as far as the reviews. Arnie, you've got into a box personally yourself. Any pros and cons?
I'll sum it up quickly. Product's great. I always have fun with the draft. I do enjoy the prospects. It's one of those 5-year shelf life products that I think you always have a chance to improve on that you bought 5 years ago at any time. Just the price it's just too high. That's it. It's pretty simple. Price is too high. 30 to 40% increase in the last 2 years through LCSs from 2022 to 24. So 10% I'm fine with. I'm fine with cost of goods going up and everything across the board, but spiking it that high and then pinching the LCSs that this is one of the bigger bread and butter releases of the year, the most highly anticipated for prospect collectors. And then you're going to squeeze that more and more back-to-back years at that level. No. But other than that, it's great. Quality looks good.
So what you're saying is with all the additions that they made to the product, the product does not warrant the price point.
No, because what you're simply doing is adding a different wrinkle and a color, another lava, a two-tone, like we see with Topps Chrome update. Okay, you have the aqua lava, but now you have the aqua and green lava lamp. So it's like, let's throw in an extra color, and that results in millions of base cards. Just one color of one player for each player. One color added or one additional, quote, parallel just adds millions of base cards in production. So no, I don't see it based on a couple nice bonus hits that are so hard to hit anyway. Right. That's where they lose me.
So real quick, I want to go ahead and thank my brother for the $20 dono, and his comment is today's show was sponsored by Metamucil.
Stay
up with the orange.
Yeah. So do you have any thoughts on Bowman draft then, Mike? I know you never got into it, nor you have any plans to get into it.
No, I mean, I did like a prospecting break a few years ago, and but that's when they had the Bowman draft light. I wish they would have come back with that, make it a little bit more affordable for some other people to get into it. What did I say? About 2 years ago, I said I'm going to get away from buying hobby boxes. I'm just going to get into breaks, and I'm just going to pick up my singles and stuff like that. But when I see for the Phillies $350 to get in a break, I'm like, I think I'll just buy the singles now. It's kind of I could get a hit or two, which is fine, but I don't know. I don't know about these high price point breaks to get into, and then
to get like 3 or 4 copies of each player at that.
I mean, what am I going to do with that? So I'll collect the base set, and kind of go from there. What's a base set going to cost me? Like $30,
not even.
If
Yeah,
that.
if that. With the refractors, maybe $30 with the refractors. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. I don't really need the prospect cards and all that other, stuff, the numbered cards. But yeah, I just wish they would have done something to make it a little bit more affordable for the should I say working class folk?
Yeah, I agree.
Not
And
to
yes,
spend an
Tom,
entire paycheck on a box.
the highlight of the alleged highlight of this product, yes, John Elway does have superfractors and autos in this product, but wait, there's more. Okay, and I brought this up to everybody in the panel before the show kicked off, and I wanted to go ahead and share it with everybody because I'm pretty sure not everybody was aware of it. So these are the two retrofractors that are inserted into this year's product also. Of all people, and this is not a bad class at all. Okay, so you've got Reggie throwing his inscriptions in there, and that's just one of two. And then he's got a regular auto, and then he's got the Mr. October. Despite the fact that they don't have him in a Yankee uniform, still, rightfully
He's
so.
still Mr. October.
He's still Mr. October.
And I wonder if a lot of it had to do with the cost to get him into a Yankees. I don't know if it's maybe someone in the chat would know that part. Was it cheaper for them to acquire or have the rights to put him in a Yankees uniform on a card, or was it just choice? Maybe in the future they have him planned for like another Yankees uniform. Like it's like when you see Babe Ruth and Red Sox versus Yankees,
right?
The desire obviously is going to be with the Yankees, but there is people that see the Ginter this year with Babe Ruth and go, oh, that's cool. I'll collect that too. I do like that they switched that stuff up. Jim Thome with Phillies, White Sox, Indians, and different releases like the Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary. I like that they change it each year and give collectors a chance to collect Thome in a different uniform. So hopefully that's what they're going to do here. Pete Rose, obviously they did his last year with that.
Now, refresh my memory,
refractor.
Arnie. When Babe Ruth was a part of Bowman Draft as a retrofractor, was he in a Red Sox uni or was he in the Yankee uniform?
I know there was a product where he was in it before, meaning he was in it back in 14, maybe. There was a long time ago. I don't recall what it was. It is on the Yankees. Team prices will be higher. Yeah, that's another good point too. Maybe they wanted to spread it out. Tom, I'm not sure in Fuego, but I believe that prior to this most recent one that they had the Legends, the retrofractors, someone made a comment a while back that I guess maybe in like the early 2000s or mid 2000s, they had a release of Bowman that had a chase for him in there as well. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't remember that far back.
Well, Magnus is saying that Magnus is not in agreement with Reggie Jackson being in it because he was in Bowman in the past. Did he have a Bowman first?
Yes. Pull that back up. Does he have a first logo on there, or is it just the card? Because if it doesn't have the first logo, then that's
it does have
on.
The first logo on
it. Yeah. Well, the internet will be all over that in a second once this gets some legs on Twitter and people will start pulling up the facts.
Yeah, definitely.
If they caught Tom Brady being, if they caught the player that they used to crop Tom Brady in the Expos uniform, the player's body, if the internet found that, they'll find this pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm actually pulling up the Reggie now because I kind of got rid of it. Let me see. I want to make sure. You see, I'm curious now because I want to make sure. Yeah. If he was in Bowman, how come he didn't get his first? And yes, they do have the first logo on there.
Now, is this because it's the first time he's been in draft?
No, this is probably insinuating that this is his first Bowman card.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because usually if you just get one first, whether it's Bowman Chrome, or Bowman Draft, you get one. Right. But again, I don't know if they're doing something. Listen, whatever they're doing, just with these older players, just keep it consistent. That's all I would like to see. Whether it's Magnus is right, good point. They did have him in this release, but it was something different. Whatever it is, just whatever you do, stick with it and keep doing it. 16 Bowman Draft. is what Magnus said.
Yeah, 16 and 20 Bowman Chrome. Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
these are so
least,
damn rare. I don't know. I've never seen them. I've never seen one at a show. I've never pulled one. I've never been in a break and seen one. So
yeah. Okay, so as always, I'm curious to know about print runs for new releases. Okay, we all know that Bowman Draft has an abundance of inserts, parallels, you name it, they got it. But we're gonna keep it simple. It's a 200 card set, and each card has about 151,000 copies. Is that too much to ask for there? Chime in what your thoughts are, chat. I mean,
at the
we
price,
know that
yeah.
print runs.
Yeah,
We know
I'm
that
curious to
print
see what the
runs
chat has
is
to
a
say.
big problem.
Again, it's just justifying. You know, here's a good number there. Those bottom two numbers, the sky blue and the lunar glow.
Mhm.
Well, the lunar glows are very popular and cheap to get because it's one per blaster box
Right.
for regular Bowman. But when you go to Bowman Chrome and Bowman Draft, I did a draft jumbo last night, and it's one per box. The reality is, though, they don't get much legs in the hobby in terms of value or collectability because people see those as, oh, it's just a common card. And then you have to look at the back or really know about Bowman to go, oh, it's Bowman 151 to 250. That's Bowman Chrome. Oh, it has the BD prefix. That's Bowman Draft. Because you see those and right away you think, oh, it's just a common card like a pink out of a Topps Chrome or a Sepia. It's very common. But in actuality, one per box in a $500 box, they should have more value. And they unfortunately don't. But they are really short printed, like you just showed. That in the sky blue. The sky blue has been around for a long time, though. That's more of a staple to Bowman Draft, non-numbered Chrome parallel. And I like that because it's a staple to the draft release. It's always been there.
Okay, so the chat's making some valid points. Adam is saying that in 2016 he was in the draft history insert.
Okay,
and then
but
Jeff
not a base
saying
card.
Reggie only has inserts, never had a base Bowman.
Well, that was 16. What about 2020? I think Magnus pointed out it was. Yeah, that's true, but it's an okay. I see what he's saying. Yeah, to have a base card. So so Topps didn't totally fumble here. I don't know. Listen, it's cool to have. I'm all for stuff like this. That's rare. Yeah. But the price point doesn't justify any of this. It's too much.
And then just to touch very briefly on the other stuff that they have in it, they got the etched in glass variations, the final drafts, image variations. Then they got the college variations, Chrome Prospect auto variations, inactions, image variation autos, all the insert base. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. But again, keep in mind the smallest box being jumbo. It's a lot of cards.
Now, didn't they change the formatting for this one versus last year? I think last year was a jumbo hobby, and this year's a hobby jumbo or something.
No. So all jumbo products. One person actually, I saw this online yesterday. I was going to try to send it to you, but when people say jumbo, jumbo has always been hobby. It's a hobby product. It has the H on there. Hobby, we just think that smaller, thinner box because there's always like a jumbo version of it too. But when you're looking at jumbo, it's easy now because the boxes are square. Early Topps had just a thicker pack and a taller box. So the two formats, other than that Draft Light, which was 2022 that they kind of tested with, those were right around $100, and those had the exclusive retail form, or not retail, but hobby form Ray Waves that were black and white. I think you got 4 per box. But yeah, it's just jumbo, and then 3 autos, and then there's super jumbo, which is 5 autos, and then they have those packs that are kind of like linked together.
HPAs.
Yeah, and then they have the little 3 card box is the, whether they're calling that Breaker's Delight. It's just 3 autos.
It's only 3 cards.
Yeah.
Okay,
and,
so I just think of it when they say it's his first Bowman card. It's actually a first appearance in Bowman, not a first base. Yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah. It's always been. I think it's always been that way, but I don't know about the legends and the insert stuff. And again, I'm okay with 1 or 2 players.
With the retrofractor, this is their second year go around, right? No, this is their third year because the first one was Babe Ruth. Second one, I think it was Johnny Bench.
Pete Rose.
Yeah, but Johnny Bench was in it too.
Oh, it was? Okay. I know the big chase was the Pete Rose card because he hasn't signed on a Topps product for forever.
Ever.
Yeah, so that's kind of
forever.
That was a big draw.
So yeah, I mean that's what
Listen,
we got.
I would love to get an on-card autograph of any one of these guys, like with Topps, regular Topps having the legends like Griffey and Sandy Koufax. Those are beautiful cards and they're great to get. So I don't mind them sprinkling these guys in, but again, is this why they're justifying this price increase and they're giving us something more? No, not at the rates that these are so tough to hit.
I mean, that's a good point because I know earlier on Adam made a comment. How come we're not seeing any Ty Cobb autos? Well, I guess they don't have a contract with them. So
that's kind of cut auto somewhere.
Yeah. I wonder if they tried.
So all right. So that's all the reviews that are coming out right now. That's the latest flavor of the month. Now, what's up and coming? All right, and this one actually dropped yesterday. We're looking at Allen and Ginter X.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, we're
actually
looking
not
at
a bad price.
We're looking at, I think it was about $150 price point.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a hobby, you get 8 cards per pack with 18 packs per box. And the checklist is 350 cards with only one auto.
Yeah, it looks like it mirrors the regular non-X set in terms of
as far as the checklist and everything. I guess they
checklist is the same.
It's just a different background design. You know, so I mean, it looks better. I'm not gonna lie. But
oh yeah, that's great. And it's for one auto per box. And it's a guarantee. Is it a mini framed auto or is it a full size?
I think it was mini framed, wasn't it?
It's mini framed.
Yeah.
So I mean, with the black though, it's pretty cool. Then the parallels, they got the mini, the red mini, and the silver mini.
Nice.
Well, at least you're guaranteed an auto in this.
The different
which is nice.
You could see there the autograph of the Guerrero, the silver ink. That's that's pretty nice.
It is.
I do remember them being a lot thicker pen on that small card. So hopefully they went to a finer pen for the smaller, like they did in the regular release of this. Hopefully
it looks like they did.
Same. Yeah. So I remember in the past it had a lot thicker Sharpie or whatever they were using for the silver ink.
Yep, get an auto of a pre-rookie guy that's been dead over 60 years. But hopefully with these autos on these minis, they don't give these guys spray cans to sign a mini card.
Nah.
Good point.
So, all right. So this actually dropped yesterday. So again, they're running for about 150 for now. Who's to say that it's gonna go up in a week, maybe 2 weeks? So I mean, if you can find them, get them while they hot. That's all I can really say. And then on the 13th of December, we have Panini Prism. Now, I think, Arnie, you proposed instead of talking about it, we just crack jokes.
Let the jokes begin, chat. Let's hear it.
All right.
I have nothing to say about Panini.
Yeah. I mean, so here's what we're looking at. 12 cards per pack in a hobby, 12 packs per hobby, 300 card checklist, and they have yet to come up with a price point yet. But
yeah, I love the cards. I just don't like the company. That's my only thing with them. And they make some really, look at that card, the prismatic. These cards are great. They look awesome.
They really do. And then you got the dual auto supers.
But the price isn't translating to a cheaper price point for non-licensed stuff. And it doesn't carry a lot of weight in the hobby in terms of value. If you do pull a big card like that Paul Skeens, it'll sell. It'll be valuable. It's a good card to pull. But when you look at the price point of a similar card in a green to whatever number, let's say it's 100 in that Panini release and it's 300 for the Topps release, there's such a big gap there and a small pool of buyers. How do you justify comparable prices on those boxes to a Topps product? That's where they lose me.
Make a good point, SP
That's
Hobby.
true.
Heaven help you if you get a redemption.
That's why I said that I don't like the company, because they play the redemption yo-yo game. Let's wait and see if the guy is really good. We'll just say we don't have it.
At one point, if I'm not mistaken, I think me and Adrian covered this. I think it was over a year ago. Supposedly, Panini was supposed to be working their redemptions with ComC.
I don't know why you need any more hands to handle cards that are already supposed to be there on a shelf. How hard is it to pull a ticket and pull an order and then package up a bubble mailer?
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense how you just explained it, but in reality, if it makes sense, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
So,
wishful thinking.
All right, so that's pretty much everything that's coming up. Pure baseball card related. Now to get on to some more exciting news. Do y'all two gentlemen know what's going to be happening tomorrow?
Oh, yes. The Hall of Fame Veterans Committee.
Yes.
Yep.
So here's who we looking at as far as the nominees, the candidates, if you will. You've got Dick Allen, Ken Boyer, John Donaldson, Steve Garvey, Vic Harris, Tommy John, Dave Parker, and Louis Tyant.
Yep.
Okay, and then here's the names of everybody that was on that committee. A bunch of writers. So, how many players from this era is gonna make it in? Any ideas?
Well, they need 8 votes to make it in, correct?
Yes.
And there's 12 voters.
Nope, 10.
10. So somebody's got. So they all have to. Is it possible that nobody makes it in?
No, anything's possible.
I mean, if you need 8 votes and there's only 10 voters,
the popularity contest.
That's what it's going to come down to. Are these players deserving? Yeah, they're all deserving.
They've been deserving for a long time.
I really hope that Dick Allen gets in. I mean, he's been snubbed so many times.
I hope Parker gets in because his health isn't that great.
Parker too, also.
Yeah.
I would love to see Steve Garvey. They're
players that I saw growing up, you know. And Shaw says Garvey and Parker.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same rules apply there, Adam.
Okay.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Okay, so we got Larkin saying it's either going to be Allen or Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Tom has got Allen, Garvey, and Parker.
I like that too. I like Tom's guess.
Garvey and Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're talking popularity, because, you know, Mr. Hollywood, Steve Garvey, but he also had a great career. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, so I would like to see Tommy John get in because, I mean, you hear his name at least 62 times in a season.
But he also has the stats, you know, so it's not like we're trying to stretch a guy just because. I mean, these guys are well deserving. You know, I think, like you said a couple weeks ago, I think Fuego said that, Mike said that there were so many good players back then. Someone had to get bounced. You know, the list got squeezed many times. Someone had to get
shafted.
Someone had to get the bump. And then you look at the list today and you go, how are they not in the Hall of Fame? And then you look back and go, well, here's why. Here's 50 other guys that are in. And
I mean, you would think if Harold Baines got in with his numbers.
Yeah, Harold. Here's the thing, and everybody goes to the Harold Baines things, but you got to remember, look who else was available. Look who else at the time was available. So I think a lot of that does play into it. But I don't follow the Hall of Fame that much.
He makes a real good point.
Yeah, that's a great point there. Yeah, go ahead with that. That's a great point, Mike.
And Mike has something to show us, so let's see what we got.
Yeah, let's take a look at Tommy John. I mean, he has a 61.6 WAR, 288 wins, 231 losses, an ERA of 3.34. He played, how many seasons did he play? Quite a few.
And for 9 different teams.
Yeah, 63 to 89.
And that's common for a pitcher late in their career to bounce around.
Yeah, I mean, he was on he started with Cleveland, went to the White Sox, to the Dodgers, and then to the Yankees, and then he kind of bounced around after that.
Right.
But I mean, if you just take a look at his WAR, 61.6 WAR, the wins are there. He wasn't a strikeout pitcher, though. Look at the amount of innings pitched. 4,700 innings pitched and only 2,200 strikeouts. and his whip was a little bit on the high side. So he was, I guess he was more like a kind of like a ground ball kind of pitcher because, you know, the strikeouts are not there. Usually
he just produced plays.
Yeah. He was able to produce plays, but
that's all, but 12 more wins. Is he just like a lock Hall of Famer?
Oh,
it's
12,
kind of
12
like
more wins. He was a lock.
492 or 493, whatever. He was just shy of 500, and the guy just got snubbed all the time. I mean,
but remember, you know, he was on the ballot going up against, like, you know, Steve Carlton, Nolan Ryan, you know, a lot of great pitchers from back in the day, you know, and a lot of great players that were getting in at the time. So, you know, he probably got bumped down quite a bit. But Tommy John is definitely deserving.
Yep. And to answer your question, Magnus, they're actually going to start incorporating all the Negro League players in it too.
Yep. Yes, they are.
So yes, John Donaldson, more than deserving to get in there. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll be tuning in tomorrow to see this, and we'll be reporting back with the results and our thoughts on who actually gets in, if they get in.
I think the Hall of Fame is always a tough conversation. So for me, it's always two things to separate it. It's eligibility and then deserving, because that comment comes up a lot.
Right. I mean, because I'm sure everybody who was on this Veterans Committee, you know, they went through the whole 10 years, 15 years in your actual consideration. And for whatever reasons, the writers did not vote them in. Who knows? So, I mean, this is basically like your last resort.
Yeah. This is your last.
SP Hobby did make a point. It makes no sense to have a 20 or 30-year-old sports writer cast a vote on players that were playing well before they were twinkles in their daddy's eye.
Yeah, they never even saw him play. That's
You know, so that's my thing.
Yeah, this committee should be based on
relevant to the era, really.
Yeah, like people my age and older.
It sounds like the argument when you start to say how great Tom Brady is, and then you ignore Joe Montana, and then the guys before him. Generations of 20-year gaps or 10-year gaps or even 50. You can't compare guys like the 60s home run hitters to the home run hitters today. No. Just physically looking at someone like an Aaron Judge compared to someone else that hit a bunch of home runs, or these small guys that could hit home runs like Altuve. The guy's the smallest in the league, but he's got a lot of pop in his bat still to this day. So I think when you're talking about those big names and Hall of Famers, I do that with football because it's like, yes, we know Brady's great. We also know Joe Montana's great. So don't leave him out. Yeah, he's the GOAT. But prior to that, it was Joe Montana until Brady was born.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the whole basketball thing. You know, I think the whole controversy of who is the NBA GOAT of all time, that conversation's been going on for years upon years.
And I think the best person to say it is Michael Jordan himself when you hear him talk. I don't know exactly word for word, but if you listen to him talk about it and talk about Bill Russell and the guys before him, and then bring up LeBron and the guys ahead of him and Kobe, that's probably the best way to do it. Now, is that politically correct? Probably not, because I don't think the guy cares. He's got all the money in the world. Everyone knows how great he is. He just gives a good point and a good take. He opens your eyes. And I don't like basketball today, but it's nice to hear the greatest, in my opinion, and a legend that I actually watched a little bit of.
Unlike this era where LeBron was actually in an interview and he said, after I made this play and got the win, I now consider myself the greatest of all time. No, you don't.
Well, that's a whole other topic. He's an egomaniac, and
he can consider himself
whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, we will see what's going on.
Hey, it's great to have new people to collect, and these guys are. Let's talk about the card value real quick, if you don't mind. You can get these guys rookie cards for very, very affordable prices. And I'm talking like a nice PSA 4 or an SGC 4 mid-grade that just looks good. It's not very valuable. Will it go up? Yes, but you could still get them very, very cheap, in my opinion. Some of these guys are under $50 in a 4, graded, shipped to your house. So if you're a Hall of Fame collector or a vintage collector, some of these guys are very cheap to get. But speaking from rookies, you can get some nice ones in that price point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were kind of doing a chat the one night. We kind of went off on, looking up these players' cards and seeing what they were going for. And unbeknownst to me, I actually had 3 of the Dick Allen rookie cards in my possession. So I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should do something with these. Maybe get them graded or something like that.
Yeah. Never know. I mean, you probably could retire off of them one day.
No, I don't think so.
So yeah, again, we'll see how this all turns out tomorrow, and the following week we'll go ahead and bring it up, talk about it, vent, congratulate, whatever the case may be. But moving on over to reality, a lot has been going on with these free agency transactions that a lot of people were not expecting. So, for example, the latest signing that I saw was of Willie Adames. Okay, he ended up signing with the San Francisco Giants for 7 years at $182 million.
Yeah.
And what are we thinking about that, chat? Or Mike and Arnie? I mean,
chat. Let's hear what the chat has to say. Is there any Giants fans? Where does that fit in with position? Who was playing that position before? Where he's at now?
I do know Larkin did say in your stream, Arnie, that the Giants were not allowed to make any transactions until February. So I'm curious to know why.
Well, the only Giants fan I know is Goody G, and he's not here.
Well, regardless, what does Adames play? Is he middle infielder?
He's a middle infielder.
He's a shortstop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that where does Ramos or Heliot Ramos play? He's middle infielder, isn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I don't follow the Giants as much, but I'm just curious where he's going to play.
So this is what we're looking at with Adames in his career.
Oh, wait a minute. Ramos is an outfielder.
Oh, Heliot Ramos is an outfielder. Yeah, I don't know who their infielders are. Whose place is he taking?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't follow the Giants.
Or is their current player a free agent?
Matter of fact, Brandon Crawford just announced his retirement, and he was a shortstop.
Oh, well, there's your answer.
There you go. That'll do it.
It just clicked. But with these numbers, I mean, you think he's a fit for the Giants?
He's got power.
Yeah.
If they need power, that's,
good for him. I mean, I don't follow the Giants enough, and I don't know how it's going to translate to hobby value. So that's going to be interesting because his cards are very affordable. So I think if we see a bump in something, I think it'll be bumped on a player like this versus comparable to a Soto, because I think Soto is already baked in with his prices. There's nothing. He's going to a top 5 contender, a big money market team. He's not coming to Cleveland. He's not going to the Blue Jays. That's what it is. So it's kind of known wherever he goes. There's not going to be much movement. Right. But a player like this going to
Giants, this kid has been in the league. This kid has been in the league now since 2018. So we got 6 seasons to see him play. No resume established, not even an all-star appearance.
Yeah, that's just a lot of money to. It's just a lot of money. I mean, listen, right there, a 250 hitter, 32 homers, 112 RBIs, 21 stolen bases. That's great. Healthy, played the whole year, 610 at bats, 153 games.
Well, how many games did he play though? He only missed 1 game.
Yeah. So, hey, good for him for, on a contract year and a free agent and getting paid a bunch of money. But that's seems a little high.
Yeah, I have their infielders, but so they got Matt Chapman. Well, he's the third. Casey Schmidt, Marco Luciano. And then after that, it's a bunch of not too much.
Okay.
It's a nice
so they got some pieces.
Well, you got Wilmer Flores, Tyler Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald had a good year. Fitzgerald's a good rookie.
Jr.
Orioles just signed. If you want to pull up that chat for Tom and Fuego.
Tyler O'Neill's just signed. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
with
Okay.
the O's. He's staying.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I mean, it's a good problem to have, I guess, if a Giants fan and you just signed a guy like that. I mean, I would like to hear how a Giants fan feels. I don't know. Listen, anyone that has a team and you sign someone like that for a nice healthy deal, and you just saw what he did in 24, you got to be ecstatic. I mean, a 30 home run guy for that price, then don't get me wrong, great value, but he's still a 250 hitter. And the jury's out. Hey, listen, he can have a nice 7 to 10 year stretch with the Giants and make the Hall of Fame. You never know.
Right.
He can do
So
it.
then,
He's shown he could do it. He just has to do it for consistency now to
so
make that
now,
contract worth it.
assuming he does have a collectability group out there, does this move to the Giants hurt him or help him? Or does he just stay stagnant?
I say stagnant.
Yeah, I mean, outside of being a Brewer fan or whatever your home team that you PC, or following him in college, like Sean does with some of his Texas guys that he follows that are on the Orioles and Mason Wynn and on the Red Cardinals. So other than guys like Sean that collect that niche product or niche player that he's followed since they were younger, that does watch minor games and follow the league.
Okay.
I don't see I'm with Mike. I don't see a big jump there, but it can't hurt. It can't hurt. And listen, if he does, like I said, 3 to 4 good years from here on out, then people like me are going to start collecting him because I know he's going to be fringe Hall of Famer. He's going to be pushing 50, some 60 WAR, and he's been playing this consistency for 4 or 5 years, hitting 30 home runs. He finally found a place to stay, and maybe they extend his contract in 4 years. Stuff like that. Then collectors like me will jump on that. But that's a lot of what ifs. So that's a lot has to happen and fall into place. But
awesome.
no movement. Maybe a couple dollars for his rookies because you'll see that spike where, hey, he's on my team now. I got to go get his rookie cards.
Yeah,
that'll die off after a couple weeks on eBay and level out.
Okay, so in this case with the Adames, we're looking at a standard player moving over to a standard team. Okay, which makes sense. Now, what are your thoughts on a notable player going to a substandard team? And what I mean by that, and chat, this is mainly for you because we already had this discussion. We got Luis Severino. He went ahead and signed with the A's for 3 years at $67 million. Share your thoughts. I mean, me personally, I believe if there is a market for Severino cards with this move, it will help him, not significantly, but it's kind of like what's a good way to put it? You
Make
can
him relevant again.
It's kind of like Michael Jordan moving over to the Washington Wizards.
A good player moving over to a bad team, they'll stand out.
There you go.
Just relevant, but I still don't understand why. Yeah, Alan, good point. Shocked A's paid him that much. I'm shocked that the A's paid anybody. So good stuff from the chat. Yeah, I have no idea. I think we all came up with the same thing. We're just at a loss. I don't understand
a good point, Jeff. I mean, yeah, if he's doing his part, but he's not getting support from his offense, he can't win games. But
yeah, that's common for pitchers, though.
For the next 3 years, let's just say for the sake of argument, he wins Cy Young in his second year into that contract. Okay, I mean, would that help him in any way with his collectability? I mean, anything is possible.
Here's the thing with those awards. I do know there's players out there that collectors out there that go after Hall of Famers. They have to get one on rookie card when they get in the Hall, or if he gets a Cy Young, I need that for my PC binder of Cy Young award winners or my MVP Silver Slugger, whatever it is. I think again we'll see that bump for 1 to 3 weeks on eBay, and then it'll just level out again because it's not going to move the needle, especially being on the Athletics. Would it be more impressive with the Athletics? Yeah, because their average run per game is probably somewhere in the low 3s to mid 2s across 12 a full season. So yeah, but it's honestly, I like these kind of moves because it may draw more interest to certain teams that don't really get it.
But in all honesty, when's the last time the A's did anything?
That's why
to pick up a player. They usually make trades. That's what they do. They trade for prospects, and then they develop the prospects, and they trade those prospects.
Yeah, they unload and unload and unload.
Yeah, well, they're the major league of the farm system.
Yeah, they are they. I'll tell you what, they know how to develop talent. There's no doubt about that. Yes, they do.
So can't keep it. As of right now, this is what the A's payroll table is looking like going into the 25 season. They're looking at $27.3 million. Okay. And right now for current payroll, they're at 4.5.
But they also have a ton of prospects that they just called up this past year too. All those guys in the purple there with the 800,000 league minimum.
Oh yeah,
you're looking at good players too. There's Lawrence Butler there, JJ Bleday. Who else is on that list?
Zach Geloff is on here.
Geloff is on there. Yeah.
Don't forget about
this kid was batting over 400 in the minors.
Mason Miller is at 800.
Mason Miller is a great closer. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get moved. So they kept him.
I'm kind of shocked about that.
Maybe they're on the uprise. Soderstrom. Who's the other kid? It's oh boy, this kid. He plays good. Is it Jacob Wilson? He got hurt in his first base hit. First run into first base.
Jacob Wilson, 800,000.
Check that, kids. And he hit the at the last walk off, I believe, at the old stadium to win the game. I believe someone mentioned that not too long ago. But Jacob Wilson, that kid, his minor numbers, he was batting like near 400 for a nice stretch. He's a good player.
One. Yeah, they've got a lot of players.
Yeah, so they've got a lot, and they've got nothing spent.
And just looking at this roster,
all league minimum.
I'm led to believe that Severino is not only is he the oldest on the roster, because I mean he is 30 years old.
30. Yeah.
That's an impressive list. Go if you don't mind going back to that same list you just had up. There's only 2 players that have a contract other than league minimum. Go to the top. Yeah. I've never seen this
Brown, TJ McFarland.
Wow. And that's a vet. That's probably vet minimum. I don't know if there's a vet minimum, like a league minimum, but he's making 1.8 and 2.7.
Well, let me see how old these vets are. Okay, so McFarland is 35.
Yeah.
This is
got
insane.
8 years already.
So Severino will be the 3rd player making over 800,000 on the whole entire roster. You got
Seth Brown. He is 32.
I'll tell you what, if you're a business owner, this is the team to own right here.
Mm-hmm.
You're not spending anything. Every player except for the new signer or the Severino and these other 2, everybody is making league minimum.
I mean, this is just as bad as the Braves roster because they don't spend much. I don't know who on the Braves roster is on a long-term contract right now.
Well, they just got them really cheap. They got Acuna cheap, they got Azelby cheap, and they got Riley cheap, meaning they got favorable deals for the organization.
I think they're set to 2028, 2029 with their current payroll. Pretty much.
I mean, this is just insane. So
that's a good point. If you want to bring up Larkin's point, because I knew there had to be some reason, and that's great, Larkin, if that's accurate.
Yeah, and that hurts those big markets like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Astros. I mean,
they have to spend the money they get from the big market teams. Or the big markets on the team. That is why they had to sign someone. So they had to make a splash, and is it just an overpay? Let's get this done with, so we don't have to pay much mind to it. Let's sign one player, whatever that money is. I don't know, because like I said, it doesn't make sense for that team.
No.
But hey, good for them. The guy also had to accept the deal. It's not like he was forced to take that deal.
Yeah,
he's going to go out to Vegas. Maybe he likes Vegas. Maybe he'll be happy there, and maybe this will be the Moneyball team. you know?
Yeah, that's another good point too, Larkin.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is what the A's were working with in 24. $62.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not very much. To go from 62.1, look, they actually took a kind of a pay cut,
More
really.
than half.
Yeah, great points, Larkin. Yeah, that's some interesting stuff. They have to overpay. They're stuck in a minor league park for years, and it's 120 degrees in the summer.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a dry heat. It's not as bad as you think, but
It's bad, Arnie. It's bad.
Well,
They say it's a dry heat, and this is what I said. I was out in Vegas in August, right? And not this August, but it was during August. And I said, here's what Vegas dry heat is. Turn your oven on to 400 degrees. Wait till that buzzer goes off. It's at 400. Then put your face right by the door and open it. That's Vegas heat. It just blasts you and dries you out.
So I just had an epiphany. There was another awkward signing that occurred. We had Clay Holmes get picked up by the Mets for 3 years, $38 million.
And they're going after Soto.
And he was pivotal during the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good for him. Well, yeah, it's stuck. Things are starting to move now. You know, free agency is definitely.
I'm surprised that there's this much
underway.
activity actually before the winter meetings, which is kind of surprising.
Yep.
Well, for the team, I think for the teams that just have unlimited bankroll, I don't think it really matters. It's just those guys just are trying to get stuff done as fast as possible. Everyone else is like, well, let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of
select amount of teams.
Speaking of bankroll, this just got posted onto X earlier this afternoon, and I find it very humorous, if you will. That's the highest offer that's on the table right now.
Allegedly.
Is that a relative of yours that posted that in Fuego? Mike Rodriguez?
No, that's not a cousin of mine.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Is that your burner account? I mean, you can tell us now. We're not going to judge you.
No, because this guy, his last name is deporting. I'm not going anywhere. I'm legal. But $730 million for 15 years for a 26-year-old.
Not just any 26-year-old.
No, not just any.
The second best in baseball, in my opinion, behind Ohtani.
Yeah, 48 large for 15 years. Yikes.
And he did come out and say he wanted 10 plus. He wants to, wherever he goes, he wants to go, and that's where he wants to have his career.
Yeah, he wants to do a long term, which
yeah.
I agree, rightfully so. He's well deserving of it. But I mean, at the same time, and I think I brought up this point earlier, not only for somebody as young as Soto, I know the money is one of his top priorities, but what about a successful career and a pathway to the Hall of Fame?
Well, I don't think that the money is, when you say it's expensive, or I'm not sorry, you said it's a
priority.
I think that to be even in this contention right now, it's going to be money. Money's going to be so high. I don't know if it's really going to change things. But
okay, Mike, why do you say that you would be worried that somebody with the skill set like Juan Soto, why would you be worried?
Yeah, I think Mike.
Actually, I think it was just the circumstances around it. I mean, Washington was just going to unload.
Washington was unloading, and I'm with Mike on this a lot. With Mike Petty's comment, I'm with him on that. But I also didn't understand the Padres deal because that was a rental. They weren't going to sign him anyway, so we kind of understand how that played out, right? And then he got moved to the biggest market team because that's where they got the best deal done, right? And then the deal before that, like you said, they unloaded everybody. I mean, everybody from the Nationals.
I know the Padres got rid of half their farm team for him.
I think the Padres were just going all in that year. That was it. And he was only going to be there that half year and then the following year. And that was it.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a tough one. I mean, there's some right now, a lot of people are leaning with the front runners being the Yankees, the Mets. I think the Dodgers were thrown into that too.
It's not going to
But
happen.
then some unusual teams actually were mentioned too, like the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I think a lot of that
The
stuff
Blue
is
Jays would be
speculation
that
with
unusual.
writers.
The Phillies were thrown into that mix. So
I think a lot of this has to do with a lot of the way the social media world is. This is what I always gather. People needed stories to write about. You know, when they say that term slow day in the office or slow news day, huh? You know, that's what you came up with. I think a lot of this is the writers putting stuff out and stories out.
yep, the Red Sox was another
Red
one.
Sox.
Yeah,
were
the Red
other
Sox was
one,
another one. Listen, all these teams are possible. There's 29 other teams out there that can get him. 30, including the Yankees. The Yankees have been quiet. You think the Yankees are out on this? No. The Yankees are definitely in on this. So,
not by
wherever he lands, good point that Mike brought up with him jumping from team to team. But now that I understand it a little bit better, I can understand those circumstances. But the positive side, when Mike said it worries me, the caveat to that, or my rebuttal would be, but he's also proven to be a winner everywhere he goes. And if these guys are offering them money, they don't want him to leave. They're really the only place that wants him to stay, that he had a chance to get offered a contract to stay at long term, was the Yankees.
Okay.
So because the Padres weren't going to pay him, like you said, it was a 1-year deal.
Right.
I remember it like it was yesterday. And I mentioned this many times when people were down on Soto and his hobby was so cheap. I think I picked up 5 or 6 PSA 10s for like $20 some a piece, just the base card. Now, granted, they're maybe worth $50 now, but the point is that everybody was down on him. And if you look up, there's an article or a post-game interview where Soto looks so mad, and he was playing so bad for about a month and a half. I think it was all of April into May. And ever since the day he got that interview and that microphone stuck in his face in the locker room, I'll find it and have to send it to you. But he turned it on and then had a great year with the Padres. He turned it up the rest of the year. And he was having a horrible year.
Oh, yeah.
It may have been 2 months in. It was bad. People were writing off Soto. They were unloading cards left and right, and they were cheap. And we all missed that small window.
So now, since you brought up his collectability, I know he established himself in Washington, won a World Series. He went from Washington to San Diego. Okay. I'm pretty sure he's lost some collectors in Washington and gained a substantial amount in San Diego, even though it was only for 1 year. Then when he left there to go to New York, same thing applied. He lost some in the West Coast. He built some in the West in the Bronx. So, I mean, when will this roller coaster of a ride when it comes to his collectability will be consistent?
You know what? And I think that comes back to the point where we were talking about, where I brought up a collector like Sean, who collects someone that he watched in college. So it's not going to matter. He's going to follow him wherever he goes. Then you have the collector like me. If he comes to Cleveland, I'm going to save the cards I pull of him because he's with Cleveland now. But as a card collector in general, I'm keeping his rookie stuff and trading and selling his stuff from other teams to those people that collect Padres or just the Nationals and things like that. So, yes, good point. I think all those things factored in that you brought up earlier are gonna flow with each of these big signings, or even these smaller guys that get signed. They'll still have some collectability, but in terms of moving the needle, the rest of the guys that are free agents this year aren't really big names enough to move the needle wherever they go. Soto's price is already baked in. Well, how much more could he go up if he goes somewhere else? I
don't think he can.
His cards are already too damn expensive.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's based off of this last season that he did. Because, I mean, if you look at it, 8 WAR, 41 home runs, 288 batting average. His slow ass stole 7 bases somehow.
Those were free passes.
But if you look at his numbers against his career, it's consistent. It's every year. He doesn't have down years. There might have been 1 year in there where his batting average wasn't quite.
Well, let's see what we got here. His lowest batting average was 236 in 22. That was when he moved over to San Diego.
San Diego. Yep, that's when everything started. But he was also with Washington in 2022. So the total of 2022 is a 242 batting average.
Okay.
So that's when he was traded from Washington to San Diego, and then he had his first full year the following year in 2023 in San Diego.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And the numbers came back up.
Yeah, played every game, 162.
Yeah.
Led the league in walks, 132 walks.
So that I could say that's just because of the transition from Washington to San Diego. That happened. But yeah, 2023. I mean, that's the year they were all in 2022 and 2023. After that, San Diego really had no use for him after that.
I would disagree with Larkin's statement by the Yankees not making the playoffs without him. They would make the playoffs without him. They would not make the World Series without him.
Yeah, I mean, because
they've done it before.
It's easy to play that game after everything's said and done and speculate.
They've done it before. I mean, they made it without Soto. They made it as far as the championship series when they got knocked off by the Astros. Yeah,
but their pitching was a lot better that year too. So that's another thing too. I think what hurt them this year is definitely the pitching. Like any other team in the playoffs, pitching it usually comes down to pitching. It's hard to point to one thing, but pitching is pretty easy to point to in the playoffs.
That's the scapegoat for everything.
Yeah, it's easy. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to add, but it's a good point.
So with all these moves, I know as well as I do, when it comes to collecting these particular players, we're only looking for high-end stuff, dynasty, transcendent, all that good stuff. But on the lower end, we're looking for their rookies, and depending on who it is, they're Bowman firsts. Will those cards have an effect on all these moves that these players are doing, especially Soto?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my same thing. I don't know. How about you, Mike? I'll let you go first. I don't know if I can add anything. It's just, he's already done.
He's just so established right now that I don't think there could be a bump in either direction.
Yeah, the only time we're going to see anything, and honestly, what we're talking about now, I think it would be, do his cards go down? I think that's probably a better conversation in Fuego. Like, do his cards go down?
Going to happen. I was just looking at Mike Petty's comment in there. Thanks for putting up the stats there, Trout. Like, we actually compared Soto's stats to Trout stats for the first 6 years, and it was pretty darn close.
They were almost identical.
Yeah, I think Trout had a higher WAR, but everything else was right in line.
Okay, so I'm actually working on pulling up Juan Soto's collectability when it comes to the hobby. So I'm pulling up his base. I'm gonna pull up.
I think that the thing with will his rookie cards ever be as collectible as Trout's rookie cards? Probably not, because of the print runs. There's so much more.
Yeah, there's more. And another thing too is Trout is signing a lot more now. Players that don't sign a lot, like Bryce Harper, that's a top 20 player or whatever. Those are a little bit easier to gauge because they just don't sign a lot. You get a Harper out of a product that's autographed. I don't care if it's the 8th year card or not. It's going to get you $500 plus for whatever it is, because Harper is just one of those guys that's a great player and he just does not sign a lot. So we can see the stuff watered down. And I think the topic of all these different teams and having nationals. So if I'm a buyer and I'm in the market with a $400 bill and I want to buy an auto of Soto and I want to get the best bang for my buck, I have to make a decision. Do I want to go Yankees? Do I want to go Nationals, or do I want to go Padres? Padres are probably going to be your cheapest, and then it'll go Nationals, Yankees because of the Yankee factor, and then wherever he lands next will be the most expensive not counting his rookie. But also Soto didn't have a first Bowman. He only has a prospect card. The only thing he has out of the first is his autographs. And then after that, it was a prospect card where he's fielding. So he doesn't have a ton of cards. It's kind of like the Jose Ramirez. Doesn't have a ton of Bowman stuff. Soto doesn't have a ton of Bowman stuff. And that's what makes a lot of those cards the prices they are, not to mention that he's really good, but that factors into it when you have guys that did not play a bunch or weren't in Bowman for 5 or 10 releases and have.
Is that because they're more from like the Caribbean islands and not, you know, the United States?
It depends on when. So it depends on when they were signed. The international prospect pool, which is basically what we're seeing now, a lot of the draft and chrome. The regular Bowman, you're seeing it just, again, and then they also hold guys over. The guy that was the number, I think it's not the number 2 or the number 4 overall pick. There's several players that are held out from the draft release that are going to put into the next release for Bowman. And I think it's the same thing that we talk about who's going to be in flagship, first series, second series, and update. And we always say, well, I think they're going to hold out this guy to make that product a little bit better. They have to hold out something for Series 1. And that's kind of how Bowman is. Series 1 is Bowman. Series 2 is Bowman Chrome. Update series is Bowman Draft.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I tried to do a comparison of their cards. Obviously, Trout has been playing a lot longer than Soto. But, I mean, just looking at this, I mean, Trout hasn't been as effective because of injuries and everything, but his value is not far from Soto. You know, we're looking at a $20 card from Chrome Update compared
Pretty
to
easy gem for a Chrome
Soto's rookie. You know, $60 off, $30 off down here.
Well, that's the 16 year, not his rookie. Compared, go back to the top
I
one.
got that. Fully aware of that, but just looking at this says a lot. I mean, I could pull up their rookies.
Oh, from a base to a rookie. Okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah, and I think print run has a lot to do with that too, because Mike mentioned they printed a lot more in 16 and 18 and 7. You know, that they did in 12 and 13.
I mean, look, I think that if I'm not mistaken, this is Trout's second year or third year compared to his rookie debut.
What year is that? Trout's rookie is 2011 update. So 11 update would be.
That's 2019. So that's 8 years
2019.
Later.
Okay. So
yeah. So that's 8
just
years
tweak
later.
that down 5 years. So 13 and 19. That's a second year cup card. Refractor.
We're looking at a $29 difference.
So would you say that you know, if you go out and buy a Soto rookie card, Topps Chrome PSA 10 for $30, worth it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That 30 was SGC 9.5.
Oh,
PSA papers are going to run you about 35 to 40, and then the Chromes run you about $75 right now, I think.
Okay.
And again, we'll see a little spike because people are going to want to go out and get the rookie card of their guy wherever he lands for the people that are collectible, you know, are collectors of their team player.
These are the last sales of Mike Trout's rookies.
Yeah.
Wow, look at
2 days ago, $830.
Yeah.
Wow.
And his 9.
I think that's a great buy.
If you see what is all dated, will that go back to? Will that show the spike in 2020? Oh, look at that! Oh my God!
Yeah.
And during this period, he was going like for just under 6,000
levels.
Yeah, those are the anomalies, though. That's you know, when you're talking about the COVID years, and you know, if you show me a spike and it's an MVP year and it's his third MVP. Then I'm watching, but we have to take out that COVID stuff. It's just not.
So, okay, let's exclude that 1 year. All right. On the low end, we're looking at $46. On the high end, just under 8,000 with 3.8 thousand sales recorded.
Yeah. But those were the guys that were pumping
10, mind you. Now his 9.
Yeah, those guys were pumping that sale. That 7.92K, those were all probably auction houses. Those were guys pumping that base card that was always around $1,000 to I went to the National in 16 and there was a guy with 40 to 50 of those stacked to the ceiling for whatever. I think he had them at $10.50 or $1,000 a piece, and I wanted to get several at $800 and he wouldn't do it, but he may have had 50 of them in a stack, all PSA 10s. So it's not a hard card to get. It's just expensive, but that 7.92K, that's just insane.
Okay, this is Soto's base and chrome.
Yeah, that's a little bit more balanced there, And the reason I say balanced, where you didn't have a huge spike, that huge spike was a bunch of guys that sat on those cards that they had, and they were trying to dish those out to the people that had no idea about the card market during COVID. Come buy Mike Trout. He's healthy. He's the best ever. And buy his base card for $8,000, which is insane.
Well, hold on. Let me just change something here real quick, because I only had it listed for 30 days. Let's do all data.
There's a COVID spike. Yeah, you got to take that out. That's
900 for a base at the high. Yeah. His chrome went for 840.
Can we see that on the chart?
Yeah.
2021.
Yep, there it is.
There we go. Same thing. It's all these guys were doing was hyping that. And then this is kind of my argument, and I'll say it because I have no skin in the game anywhere. I speak my mind. Those were the same guys that once this was over, the narrative that was pushed all over the internet was base cards are garbage. Because you realize that after that time passed, you couldn't push base cards for big money anymore. So you had to devalue the base cards and start knocking them and saying that they were not as good. And nobody wants just a base rookie card. And quite frankly, 99% of the hobby that can collect, they just want the rookie card. And we're happy with that.
What do y'all think about this question that Beast just posed? Do you believe Trout demands the values he is getting on his cards due to his constant injury prone?
No, I think he'll be. I'm still buying Mike Trout. I just bought 3 of the biggest Mike Trout cards that I own this year because he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. If he died tomorrow, God forbid, he's in the Hall of Fame. There's only 18 other players. There's only 18 other players, I think, that have a higher WAR of 100. He's in the high 80s right now, and he's still playing. He could DH the rest of his career like Ortiz, who did most of his career. But the guy cried when he got hurt. He had 10 home runs in that short span of the season. He was leading in home runs. People were talking about MVP Trout again. The dude literally cried on camera when he got hurt. Like, I don't think he's done with baseball. This is my opinion. He'll be back.
This is his 2024 season.
24 games, 10 home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's not dead. He's coming back. He's not quitting baseball. So yeah, let the prices drop. Let a lot of these guys that wanted a Mike Trout card to get one. What's the floor? I have no idea.
But here's the thing, though, Arnie. Granted, yes, the injury bug got the best of him in 24 because he was only able to play 29 games.
Right.
Yeah. He's had 3
I have him in 25 season where he's only able to play 20 games, 15 games.
Yeah. One of those was a COVID shortened season, and then the other 2 seasons he was injured, and then he just got injured again. Now, I'm just saying, do his prices reflect that now, and should they go down? Absolutely. I'm with that. But to answer the other question, is his prices reflective of his play on the field? Absolutely. There's no other player you can compare him to for a decade stretch. And people talk about guys like Don Mattingly that played that 10-year stretch. He was very, very good. Sandy Koufax played very, very well for 10 years. Cal Ripken played for a long time. But I'm saying, like, the guys that played for shorter careers and had awesome careers but just missed, this guy knocked it out of the park and killed it for 10 straight years.
Just looking at him, he was an all-star every season minus COVID.
Right. Look at every bold since his first full season in 2012 all the way down for 10 years. Look at all the bold categories, all those that's league leading in every category.
3 MVPs.
There's nobody you can compare him to. You can say any name you want.
4 times he came in second.
3 MVP, 11 All-Stars, 2 All-Star MVPs, Rookie of the Year, 9 Silver Sluggers, Major League Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of this, when you see stats, there's a lot of pitchers that are 12-12 or go 12 wins and 14 losses, and they suck. No, they don't. Just watch the games. Do you know the team? Do you follow the team? Did they not get run support? There's more than just a single stat. So I think a lot of it is, it's easy. I just personally don't like the easy go-to, like you mentioned earlier, where I kind of just wave the white flag on a comment. It's too easy just to give up. It's Trout sucks. He's done. That's the hot button take. Okay, well, I want you to put that in writing and then grab all your cards and sell them to me dirt cheap. And then they have nothing to say, because regardless of what happens with him, he's not dead.
Here's Mike Petty's comment.
He'll be back.
From a reliable source, DH was thrown at Trout for 2 years in a row and he declined.
Right. We heard that, but is that true? Is that in writing? Did Trout say that? It's all noise, man. I avoid all that. I enjoy the games. I'm going to enjoy my cards. Keep dropping them prices. I got more Trouts to buy. I'm loving it. I love it. I think it's great for guys like me that never could afford a Trout that's $2,000. Now it's $400.
The way I look at it, his card collectability could take a dip now, but they're gonna spike as soon as he gets that call to Cooperstown.
Exactly. But another thing is this: if he DHs now and he's forced to DH, or he comes to the realization that he should have DH'd those last 2 years, and Mike Petty's right, and then he finally gets it in 2025, 2024, 2026, whatever the year is, it doesn't matter. Let's say he DHs. If he DHs and he gets to 500 home runs, it doesn't matter. I think Nikki, we can point out any player when you look at it and follow a team.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you follow the team and watch the games, I know Gavin Williams is a great prospect. He was top 3 for 2 years now. Got healthy, got hurt, got healthy again, pitched well, but his record doesn't reflect that. But he's a good pitcher. But I watch Cleveland. No one else is watching Gavin Williams pitch other than a Cleveland fan. So that's why I say if you watch the game, he's better than his record states. That's commonly said. Mm-hmm. Any player we could pick out. But I think Trout will be fine. I think now's the time to buy Mike Trout. What is the floor? I don't have that answer. Right. The floor should be what you can afford and what you've been saving for, or what you always wanted, may be more affordable now and may be achievable. Do you stay away from it now because the prices have come down? It's a question you got to ask yourself. But I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll be back. And again, it's a gamble. If healthy, I think it's a good buy right now.
Mm-hmm. I know early on, everybody was comparing these two competitively. I mean, right now, I don't even see the competition it's pretty much the competition is one-sided between Harper and Trout. I mean, granted, the difference is not great. Well, with the exception of the WAR. I mean, Trout 84 compared to 51.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Harper's been hurt as well. Harper's got some injuries on his career too.
And look what he's doing now. He's either first base or DHing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I brought that up a while ago just because the money these guys are making. In a couple of years, when Stanton leaves, put Judge over at first base, or just make him a full-time DH. Let the kids out there run around. I don't know. It's just so much money to pay these guys just to have them risk an injury, when it'd be different if, he was the best defender out there for 10 straight years and you need him out there. You need him to play every position or play all sides of the field.
Right.
But in this case, what do you need? What do you need him out there for? I mean, is he making spectacular plays, saving so many runs a game? What's his defensive WAR look like at the end of the year for Judge?
Spectacular play and land on the injured list again.
Right. And again, injury prone, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's easy when they've been injured 4 times to say injury prone, but Trout's out there. He doesn't look like Miguel Cabrera, where he doesn't care and he's just cashing the extra $30 million for the last 3 years. Right. He's out there working out. He looks like he's in good shape. He's running like he used to run 7-8 years ago. He doesn't seem like he's slowing down or not making attempts or not going after a ball because he doesn't want to get injured. He's playing all out.
I mean, if you look at Trout's defensive WAR throughout his career, he's looking at 2.7.
That's pretty damn good for on the defensive side.
Yes.
It's pretty damn good.
Offensive war is a completely different animal.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, some of those down years where he was injured, I mean, a couple negative war years.
Yeah.
You pull up a guy like Soto, who's just not known for his defense. If Soto had that defensive skill, like a Trout or, someone else, man, he'd be the best player. He'd be way better than Ohtani.
Yeah.
He'd be the best player in baseball. That's his only, I guess, knock on him. That's his only weak suit. Dylan Cruz, too early, man. It's just too early. If you're going to buy Dylan Cruz, it's definitely a good time to buy compared to when he got called up and his Bowman cards from the first Bowman release. It's cheap.
Well, let's see. In 31 games, 3 home runs, 218 batting average, 8 RBIs, 12 stolen bases.
Yeah, he's wrong. I mean, he's young. The kid's young. It's his first year in the bigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only fucking 20-ish?
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, this Bowman stuff compared to what it comes out at and what they're selling for, that's everybody wanting the card and cannot wait. They're impatient. Then you wait 3 months and the card's down 10%. Then it's down 40% after 6 months.
So do you think, is Dylan Cruz going to be the chaser in Flagship Series 1?
More than likely.
He should be in Series 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would expect for him to be that guy in Series 1. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what I've heard about Trout when I see you in Strongsville. Okay, Mike. Oh, don't tell me, Mike. I'm still buying. Sell me something cheap.
But yeah,
he had 12 stolen bases too, so he's got speed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Listen, this kid's great.
Yeah.
He's a great player. I mean, he was on the championship team with what's his name? Skeens.
Yeah.
Well, Skeens is a different animal, though.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good to see guys like this. With the question that Beast brought up, how do you feel about Dylan Cruz? If you thought, here's the thing: if you thought highly of him then, and he's down 50% in value, why not try to go get the card that you like, and you don't have to go crazy, but try to buy the card that you were on the fence about getting because it was too much money. There's always opportunities to buy these guys, like those graphs show with the up and down outside of the COVID stuff. Just
with
buy
Trout
what you can
being
afford.
traded to a contending team, Beast, I think it won't do him any justice for collectability.
I don't think it. I mean, it's Trout. I think he just has to have a healthy season, and his cards will go back up. That's all it takes.
Yeah, he has a healthy season and is the comeback player of the year. Boom, we're going to go back up.
Doesn't even have to have comeback player of the year. He just a healthy season, because healthy Trout, the guy didn't forget how to play baseball.
Well, he's probably already in the running for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Javier Baez definitely forgot how to play baseball.
Yeah.
And does not care.
Yeah. All right. Can we get to the what we're talking about here? The wish list.
The fun stuff
for our teams.
What wish list are you referring to?
Come on, the Christmas wish list. What player do you want from free agency on your team?
Well,
and
we talked about this.
Yeah, I know.
It's the only reason I'm trying to stay awake.
I have my list ready. Go ahead, Mike. Let you start things. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. For the Phillies, I want one player. And I'm giving up my ultimate PC player since I got back into collecting. He's the Philly that came up through the ranks. I want to give up Alec Bohm, and I want to get Alex Bregman on this team at third base.
Why? Yes.
Why? Okay. First of all, just look where is it? Pull up his numbers. No, not Alec Bohm.
Hold on.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna do a comparison?
I'm gonna do a comparison.
There's no comparison.
Will he fit in a stocking? Can we put him on Mike's mantle in the stocking stuffer?
I'll get a stocking big enough.
Teriyaki Psych. You got Teresca Hernandez.
We'll just go off of last season. because I know Bregman has been in like forever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is why I want Alec Bregman over Alec Bohm at third base for the Phillies. The Alec Bohm, when he came back from injury last year, he was just swinging at everything, just trying to get a hit.
Okay.
All right. As far as I know, that Arnie and I were talking about this earlier, I think that the Phillies window started 3 years ago when they made it to the World Series, or 3 years ago when they made it to the World Series. The next year they got knocked out in the divisional. Last year, all the bats went cold and they got knocked out in the first round, or actually second round. They didn't play in the wild card. I think it's going to be a bump for the team to get him in here. Alec Bohm has value. He's an all-star. So if they sign Bregman, they have a trade piece to get another pitcher in this team. Could be to the White Sox, could be to another, but you're gaining Bregman and you're also gaining a trade piece. We lost in Fuego. We lost the host of the show. He's gone. So Bregman has more power than Bohm. I honestly wish the Phillies would not keep Schwarber in the leadoff. I don't see it. I think he could be a piece to put around Harper, either before him or after Harper.
Mm-hmm. More of a consistent at bat with the plus he brings something to the locker room. If that's I mean, he's another guy that's, I know he's part of that the trash can stuff, but he's I don't know how much money he's going to command. That's going to be the tell. I don't know how much money a guy like him is going to be in demand, or do they want to stay young? And
he's probably going to be 25 to 30 million a year. That's what I'm thinking. But the whole thing is, it's not going to be for a long term. It's going to be for 3 years.
Yeah, 3 to 5 years with a couple of your options on the back end.
Right. And that's it. So if they want to keep Schwarber in the leadoff, that's fine. Now they have somebody to put behind Harper to protect Harper, where they had Bohm last year to protect Harper. And Bohm is not a home run hitter. He'll get you doubles. That's for sure. He will get you doubles. He'll give you a decent batting average. Mm-hmm. But Bregman has the same batting average as Bohm, but he also has more power.
Yeah, so more of a consistent bat too with
exactly.
But again, here's another thing too. I like youth, especially for a guy that's been consistent. Mm-hmm. and can always improve. You know what you're getting with Bregman. Right. So there's a double-edged sword there. There's the clubhouse guy. There's the cheating aspect. You can look at the positive and you can go right to a negative. You could do that with any player. So it's going to be fun to see. I don't have that problem. I'm a Cleveland Indians fan. We don't pay for crap, and I got nothing. So I'm out on this conversation.
And Mike Petty, the Phillies need Soto. Yeah, I would take Soto.
I'll take it. How about this? I'll
take him in a freaking heartbeat.
I'll take any player.
Yeah.
That the Indians will pay.
You get Hans as a throw-in. Yeah, but I think that's where the Phillies were lacking last year. It was like, okay, so Schwarber comes up, hits a home run, Turner gets on base, and now they have Harper. And, it's like, who's behind Harper? Alec Bohm. Okay. Yeah. So, it's just like, would you rather have
a little lineup tweaking could change that too? So
they're so steadfast on having Schwarber get that extra at bat, possibly a game. He'll get the 4th at bat, but sometimes he'll get the 5th at bat. Okay. So he led the league in leadoff home runs. What's that get you? Gets you 1 run. He in one of the playoff games, he hit a home run in his first at bat, and then the Phillies didn't get another hit the rest of the game. So what good did that do you? Yeah, it didn't do you any good.
I guess that's with everything falling into place. That's their theory, and after the fact, we can always go to that. But one last thing on before we go to Fuego for his wish list. You got Bieber back, says Locken. Well, Locken, let me break down the Bieber deal. It's a 1-year deal. He's not even throwing yet. He's rehabbing. He just had Tommy John. It's a deal that's, hey, we're going to get you healthy. We're going to pay you X amount of money. It's a win-win for both of us because we could see what you have. And then if you're good and we're sucking, we can trade you and get something for you for half a season or for the playoff stretch when we're not in contention. That's all that deal is. It's not a 1-year deal. We didn't sign Bieber. Will he be there? Yeah, but we didn't sign anything. Right. Bieber is looking for a long-term deal. He was an ace, Cy Young Award winner, All-Star Game MVP. No, that's a bullshit deal. Sorry. I don't like it.
The other thing is, if we can't get Bregman, we keep Bohm there, and we go after Anthony Santander from the Orioles.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to be a really good piece for pretty much any team. I don't think he's going to command that much, in the dollars market, but he's been a solid player.
Okay. Makes perfect sense. Cleveland had the same issues as Philly in the play when they chase pitches, and well, that's Cleveland for you.
Yeah, they got a hit. Yeah,
our bullpen blew up on us too. It was not good, not pretty.
So, okay, is that the only change you would want to see on your wish list?
Well, I did my 2. I said if we can't get Bregman, let's get Santander.
Okay,
from the Orioles. Because we do need to nail down the outfield too.
Yeah, nothing for me. I got nothing on that list. I'm good with candy. Give me candy and gifts and everything else, and some socks and some sweaters. I don't know.
So now,
as long as something's under the tree. How about you, Inflago?
If I was George Steinbrenner, who was resurrected for the sole purpose of rebuilding my team for the 25 season, there's 4 moves I would love to do. 1.
Do they involve free agents?
3 of them do.
Okay. All right.
1. No, actually, all 4 do. Keep Glaber at second base.
Okay. Interesting.
Get rid of Rizzo. Change him out with Alonso. Get rid of Verdugo and replace him with Teoscar Hernandez.
Okay.
And the last one, sign Sasaki. Because
so
if I remember correctly,
the Bronx Bombers.
If I remember correctly, in what is it? A couple of years back when the Yankees signed Masahiro Tanaka, the teams did not know what to expect. Okay, I mean, yeah, you got your scouts that'll tell you what you got to. He's got X pitch. This is his pitch mix. This is what his go-to is, so on and so forth. But it's one thing to hear it; it's another to actually experience it as a batter. And then with Teoscar, I mean, this was last season. He did his thing favorably. 33 home runs, 272. I mean, he's ultimately a Swiss Army knife for any team.
Yeah.
Put him somewhere and he'll perform. Pete Alonso, don't need to really say much. Pete be Pete. Okay. And then
Glaber. And you're holding Soto. Or not holding Soto.
I will be holding Soto.
And you will be holding Soto too.
Yes. But now, if I cannot get Soto for whatever reason, I would likely consider Jurickson Profar.
Oh, that's right. He is a free agent too. Yeah.
Had one of the better years of his career too.
Yep.
This past year.
I mean, Profar, he's 5 years older than Soto, and
he's 31.
Yeah, he's 31.
Yeah.
But he'll do the job for the price he's going to command, which is good.
Yes.
He's a very serviceable player.
Exactly. So that would be my moves for the team.
All righty.
Arnie, where are we at?
We never pay anybody. We don't. Maybe that's why I'm fixated on prospects and drafts. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I got confidence in your team, huh?
Yeah, it's just not there. And honestly, for a team that, was a couple mistakes here and there, a couple pitches here and there, and a game and a half or whatever, 2 games total away from a World Series appearance, you just got to get in the playoffs, man. Just got to get hot. Got to get in the playoffs, get in, and then see what you could do. Same thing with the Tigers, Royals, all these teams that were right there. You just have to get in. If you get in, you got a shot. It's the way the game goes. I think reading too much into it with a certain player, is one player going to help your team? No, but I'd like to have a lot of those players. The Swiss Army knife, like you said, with a high K rate. But a lot of this stuff I think goes with teams not signing another player. Why are they not signing him? Do they not have the money? Okay, check. Do they not need that piece? Okay, check, because they just drafted the first round pick, et cetera. Aren't you paid? Yeah, I understand that's arbitration dollars. He was making more than that, I think. But yeah, $14 million. That's a sweetheart deal. A 1-year deal for a Cy Young Award winner and a guy that just had Tommy John and a top 5 pitcher in the league. That's not a deal. We didn't sign him for one deal. That's a deal to trade him. We have him for 1 year. He will be traded if the Indians are not in contention. I will put up 51 Bowman mantle against your 50 cents, whatever you want. Mark it here. He's not going to be on the Indians. Only if they're contending, we'll keep him. And at the end of the year, he's going to walk and he's going to go sign another deal. That guy was supposed to sign a 5, 6, 7, 9, 10-year deal worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Bieber at 14 million was basically like, look, you haven't rehabbed. We don't know what you have left. You could be done. We're taking a shot on you. Okay, we're not signing to a long-term deal. Let's do one deal, $14 million. Anybody would give that guy $14 million if he had one arm behind his back. But 1-year deal is not. Yeah, Bieber was expected to get paid or traded. And if we weren't playing good and he didn't get hurt, he would have been traded this year for more pieces. We would have got a lot more for him. But now we're going to be stuck to a half a season, possibly a playoff run for another team, and we'll get something for him. But yeah, he's not sticking with I'm a whole bet under 50 cents. I would too. I wouldn't take that bet. Yeah, it sucks. I'm mad about it. I get mad because the Indians don't keep what they have that's good. Right. And again, we don't know the other side to that. Maybe they offered him 5 years, hundreds of $millions, and he said no. And then the deal was, okay, you've been with us, you've been loyal, we've been loyal to you. We don't know what those conversations are like. But that's what that deal was. That was a win-win for both sides. And, hey, you prove yourself, maybe we'll offer you some more money. And maybe there's a deal in place behind scenes that says, right, hey, if you come back and you are healthy, we'll extend you. And they can extend him any day of the week. They can extend him on his 5th start. They can do anything they want from here on out in that year. So I would just like to keep Bieber, and I'd probably go with Profar.
Yeah.
I go with Profar because he's not going to cost you as much as those other guys. I'm being realistic. I'd go with Profar. Because we need some. Yeah, I'd go with Profar. But we're not paying Lane Thomas that we signed. We're not paying him either. Yet.
Yeah.
But to answer Dom's question,
it sucks rooting for a team that has no money. Okay, you two with the Yankees and the Phillies dropping hundreds of millions of dollars, enough already.
But
you know what? Yeah,
your biggest problem is moving a 40 home run guy to a 3-hole right now, Mike, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. My life is rough, but
and your Eagles are pretty damn good too. So there's that.
So Dom is saying,
I'm not jinxing anything right now.
Yeah.
Dom is saying not for the heart of the Mets, he isn't. His pitch chase is terrible, and I'm sure he's talking about Pete Alonso.
He's talking about
his defense needs to improve. My question to you, Dom, is how much defense do first basemen actually play? All they're required to do, put a foot on the base and catch the ball.
It's still a lot to do. I mean, you're pretty much involved in every ground ball play,
All you got to do is get to the base and catch the ball. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing with a lot of these guys. One thing I think I missed my point. I forgot to say it. We don't know what these guys are like. They could play worse or better because we can name a bunch of guys that were like, oh, remember when he got that deal in free agency? Free agency is risky. There's stats on that stuff. These guys aren't going to play as well. They have clubhouse mojo. They got they're friends with this guy. They stay at this friend's house. They go out with this person's family. They're friends with them. They have brothers on the team, cousins, whatever it is. There's a lot of chemistry that goes into these deals that takes time to develop. So on these 3 to 4 year deals that they sign free agents, we don't know what these guys are like. Are they clubhouse cancers? Are they just not likable people? I don't know. A lot of that factors into these deals where some of these guys are going to go, oh man, they went over there and played really well. Sometimes the chain of scenery is great for these guys and they're going to just blow up. Look at the guys we collect in baseball cards. Oh, he's so good now. He hit 40 home runs. He hit this or he did this for this team. Oh, I have some of those cards. Yeah, I'll start collecting them. I think that's what's fun about the collectible side, but there's so many things that got to go right for these guys to play great after they get signed to another team. It's very, very risky.
I mean,
no.
oh God. Hey, Mandy, how you doing?
I don't think that's going to happen. What's up, Mandy? All right, let's throw it out to the chat. We got a lot of people out there. Who are you looking for from the free agents to come to your team? If you had a wish list, what one player would you like to come to your team? I want to see what Nikki says as far as
one player, guys. One player in a reason. Well, you really don't need a reason, but one player. One player
that you want on your team.
Beast already said 2. You're out. Always breaking the rules, that guy. Okay, Walker, quarterback. Okay.
What, you want Tawan Walker? You got him.
Yeah. Mr. Burns. Yeah, Burns is
Tom wants Burns. Teoscar, he wants Teoscar back. Yeah.
Tom's just going to go with nobody. It's probably less painful.
Yeah, just don't even go there, Tom. Don't even get your hopes up.
Well, Jeff, I don't want to throw nationality.
Mickey wants Soto,
but black people don't do well in cold weather.
He was on the team, wasn't he? He was on the Blue Jays,
and I'm sure he was suffering every time they played.
Oh, he was good.
Wait, don't they play indoor? Wait, is there a dome in I don't know. Is that a dome stadium or is that outdoors? The Rogers Center, is that what it's called?
Kenny's in a timeout. What did Kenny do?
Or didn't do?
Yeah, probably didn't do. Yeah.
Blink twice if you need 9/11, Kenny.
All right, so Nikki wants Soto. It would shock the hell out of me if Soto came to Philadelphia. I mean, I would be like, I don't know what I would do. I'd be like getting my seats ready for Broad Street for the next 3 to 4 years, watching that parade, I guess.
Oh God.
The Soto effect.
I think one of these episodes, we're gonna come up with our own dream team of a starting lineup by position.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Active players. Active players, yeah.
Well, no. Actually, yeah, we could do active players. We could do active players.
We could do both 1 week. 1 week we'll do active, 1 week we'll do retired.
We could do retired, but there's a caveat though. Anybody that's retired has to be a part of the after the 1949 integration.
Okay.
So no Babe Ruth, no Ty Cobb.
Okay.
And we'll even throw a curveball in there. Pick your manager.
Oh man, there's so many good managers today. Oh man. I already know.
I'm going Francona, period.
No, I'm going Earl Weaver, man.
I'm going Billy Martin.
Earl Weaver running my team.
There you go.
Going Billy Martin.
Cleveland legend. Oh, Billy Martin. Yeah. But that guy was crazy. He was nuts. You watched the special on Billy Martin on YouTube. I wish I could share the link, but there's plenty out there. That's a good watch. That guy was nuts. I would have loved to have been a baseball fan around that era.
Beast is saying Lasorda. That's a good pick.
Lasorda's a good one. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Nikki with Yogi. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, here's a quick question for the chat as well. What would surprise you out of if Soto went X in terms of where he's going to go?
Yeah.
Where
What would be the team that he signs with that would surprise you?
Yeah.
Seattle.
And let's say a contender. Let's not say Cleveland, please. Let's be realistic here. No Cleveland, no White Sox.
It would throw me off, and I'll break the ice.
What if he goes back to the Nationals?
I would break the ice on this one. It would literally blow my mind if Soto decided to go to Houston.
Wow.
They
do have a lot of money available.
Yeah.
Kenny said Houston. Okay. Cleveland's a contender. Thanks, Dom. Dirty socks in your package when I mail your stuff to you.
If not Houston, Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
I would never see him going to Tampa Bay.
No, these are all like beyond hypotheticals. This is like after 7 shots and like 10 drinks, and it's like 2 a.m. last call.
I mean, you're thinking of a team that would be a contender that nobody has said anything about. So that's why Seattle came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Because
okay. Yeah. No, I agree with you.
They just won their division. Have faith in your team.
I mean, Cleveland's always there every year. I mean,
Cleveland has since 2011 one of the most winningest records in baseball. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we're not paying anybody like a Soto.
Right.
I mean, if you really think about it, just imagine Soto teaming up with Jordan.
Yeah, or teaming up with J-Ram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Soto's going to be good wherever he goes, as long as he's healthy.
As long as he doesn't go to Colorado.
He put up 70 home runs a year.
Well, let me see. Dodgers for sure. Can you imagine them having $1.45 billion
oh my God.
in 2 players?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they'll if the Dodgers pick them up, they're going to defer about 90% of his damn salary anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
The struggle is real out here in the baseball world, man. Third world problems. Adames gets $100+ million.
Yeah.
Boy.
But it's just a matter of
wise. I don't think much is going to change on the collectible front for any player that's out there right now. I just don't see anything moving the needle too much.
I disagree with you on that one, and I say that because.
Are we talking Soto or just like
in
who's
general,
out there now? Okay,
who's coming? And I'm talking about this guy.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I guess I meant the free agents that are on the other list. That's what I meant.
Right behind him,
are out there now.
Another name from Japan that nobody has mentioned.
What about the hitter?
Where the hell is this kid's name at? No, it's not Ha-Seong Kim. This guy right here. Shinosuke Ogasawara, a left-hander.
I thought wasn't there a good hitter? What's the hitter's name? That the kid that's
I know who you're talking about. Magnus, if you're in here, what was the name of that Japanese slugger? I can't remember his name. I know he's on my MLB The Show starting lineup.
Yeah.
I think it was Mamase Mamakusa, something like that.
What was that guy's name?
Yeah, Murakami. There we go.
Oh my God!
It's been a while since I've been to Japan. There, Magnus. Don't fault me. But yeah, I would see. I mean, wow, because he does have a big bat. Definitely, the big market teams would benefit off his services. But if I'm not mistaken, Magnus, Murakami is a left-handed hitter or right-handed or switch. I think he was a right-hander. Because if he's right-hander, Yankees have no need for him. We got too many big bats on the right side.
I don't know, man. I don't care where you're hitting from. You got a guy that can.
Well,
bat
no,
over
that matters though,
275.
Arnie. I mean, think about it.
It does.
Would you prefer to have a left-handed slugger playing in parks that are left-handed favorable?
Oh, like a home park, yeah,
like
a home park.
Games there. Yeah,
but I'm saying as a good hitter who has an average over 275, I'll take anybody. I don't care what your name is. I don't care how much you're making. I don't care how old you are. If you can hit 275 and not make a bunch of errors and play both sides of the offense and defense,
right?
I don't care what your name is. Even give me a 250 hitter. You know how many teams would love a 200 or a .230 hitter as a catcher and a good guy that can stop the ball?
Yeah,
every team. So just imagine what a 250 hitter, a bunch of 250 hitters can do in a 9-man or 8-man lineup. 9-man lineup.
Okay, so Murakami is a left-hander, but he won't come until after this season coming up.
Oh, after 2025. Okay. Yeah. Well, good thing to speculate on. It's fun.
He'll be a chaser.
It's fun to see these guys and wish and want, and I'll never know that feeling. I'll live through you guys and who you guys get.
Yeah.
There's always hope. I mean, y'all could pull out.
I definitely have hope.
Like the A's did.
Yeah. Well, I guess should be thankful that we have a good team without doing all that.
I mean, you've got quality players on the damn Guardians. You've got J-Ram. You've got the Naylor brothers. You've got Rochio.
Yeah. Quan. Yeah.
You got Quan. I mean, Quan came out of left field like, hold my beer, watch me work.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been great. I just hope to God they save some money for him and pay him. If they let him walk, I may riot in the streets with a gas can.
Yeah, so I mean,
the
Guardians make more moves than the Rockies do.
Yeah, I love Manzardo. He's our new first baseman, and then Naylor will DH if we pay him. So hopefully we can keep Naylor around and get 20 plus homers. Manzardo can hit. He's raw. He'll get there though. That was a good piece that we got in that the trade with the Rays.
If they bring back Bregman, Tucker or Valdez will have to be traded. I don't know.
Really? I don't know. I'd keep Tucker if anything.
Oh, we know
got the best second baseman in all of baseball.
In defense,
Jimenez.
yeah. Jimenez in defense, you're not lying. Yeah, Platinum Glove winner.
Who is your second baseman anyway?
Andres Jimenez.
Andres Jimenez. Yeah, Jimenez. His bat was down this year, but his defense is always, defense is best in the league.
That's one of Dom's guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Kid's great.
So, we got a lot of stuff that we covered today.
Ooh, could you see Soto with Acuna in Atlanta? Ooh, I never even thought of that. That's a good point, man. That'd be
Soto, Acuna, Albies, Harris,
Riley. Oh my God.
That's
what a lineup.
I could see it, but it's not going to happen. I think Atlanta's
already
set with their team.
Yeah, I mean,
Ted Turner is about as cheap as they come.
Is he still the owner? I thought that guy was like 130 years old right now.
Didn't he die like 40 years ago?
I don't know. I think he died when he was born.
He still has principal ownership 6 feet deep.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but good stuff. I know. Again, next week we will be bringing up the results of the Hall of Fame. Any other transactions that happen with free agency, we'll be bringing you up on that. Hopefully, we'll have some more light to shed regarding where Soto goes. Yeah,
hopefully this is over like this by the week. Hey, maybe this weekend.
I think this is going to be the one that's going to go on for quite a while.
Well, is it going to be the one though that when this deal falls, everything else kind of falls into place because people are going to be out on him and then have all this other money to make moves?
I don't think that there's that many people in on him. That's the problem.
There was a free agency that happened, and I think the key player that was on that free agency list waited to the bitter end to make a decision. I think it was Machado.
It was the Machado and Harper that one year.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
waited
they were.
till the
It
bitter
was
end.
February, for God's sakes.
So hopefully we don't go that route, but
we'll see how it plays out.
We'll just have to wait and see. But overall, appreciate everybody in the chat participating, giving y'all's feedback on everything that we talked about. As always, Mike, Arnie, again, this train would not go nowhere without you guys.
Yeah, thanks for chatting, fellas. Appreciate everybody in the chat. It's
Kenny's
all
back. We're signing off, Kenny.
This is ultimately what the podcast is for interaction between both parties. And by parties, I mean the chat and the panel. All right. So other than that, Mike, you got anything going on?
No,
me neither. Just a normal Friday show. See you guys on Fridays, and
honestly, have nothing.
Enjoy collecting. Stay within budget. Enjoy collecting, and have fun in the hobby. That's about it. Keep it simple.
Yep. I personally don't have anything really going on, with the exception of I did commit to upgrading my subscription to Market Movers. And I'm only doing that for the purposes of the podcast.
Oh, there you go. That's a good reason.
Okay. So I'll have that. I'll have Card Ladder, so we can use that as reference points when it comes to collectability. Because again, we try to keep everything here based off of collecting, not put a dollar figure on everybody's habits. But yeah. So, and then I am currently putting together a PSA submission, and I'll keep you all informed on that one. But other than that, I ain't really got nothing else going on. But let me see what the chat's got going on. Okay, so Nikki's gonna be on Spine Ticks tonight.
Cool.
And his Sunday show, as always. Nikki, you got to come up with a better time.
It starts at like midnight or something. It actually should be Monday morning show.
Nikki has the body of a 40-plus-year-old, but the devotion and the dedication of a teen. That's why I normally just pop in. I'll say what's up, stay for like 15-20 minutes, and I'm already working on my third dream.
I'm already 3 hours into sleep by the time he gets on.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. No, I've got plans tonight, fellas. I got some business to attend to.
Oh shit! So Barney got a booty call.
I gotta go sort some pennies. 48. I gotta go sort some pennies.
All right, so Nikki's going live at 9. Okay, so good
nice.
Stuff.
Corey is putting a set together. Holy crap! The hell just froze over. He's putting a set together.
Wow.
Nice, Corey. I like to hear it, man. I love the
matter of fact. Hey, Corey, are you not a resident Texas Ranger collector?
Oh, that's Artie. Artie is the Ranger.
Artie. Okay, yeah. Artie. I got some stuff that he made.
Corey likes Griffey.
Okay. Well, other than that, I appreciate everybody's participation. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Check out Mike's channel. Check out Arnie's channel. And other than that, we will see you all next weekend. Same bad time, same bad channel. Have a good one, everybody.